Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Jesting on this amazing Sunday. This is the final group stage day of HeroesCCL Season 4. Today, we're going to lock in our ladder bracket. We're going to lock in who our, well, we kind of already know who our number one is going to be going to the LAN, but we're going to lock in that third place as well and figure out who will punch their ticket Oxygen and 30k to go to the HeroesCCL LAN August 5th through 7th. But of course, before we get into everything that is CCL, let's check in with my amazing friends here. And we'll start with Grubby. Grubby, how have you been doing? How have your games been? What meals have you been eating as well in between CCL? Like, anything good?
Let's see. I had lovely noodles today. Stir-fried noodles. Yesterday, I don't remember. Stir-fried noodles, yes. I'm already all pumped up and good to go for this final day. And I was checking the Liquipedia standings, and I know we'll get to that. Yeah, 30k Oxygen qualified. Liquipedia thinks Diamond Hands has a chance, but I don't think they do have fun. But we'll get into that soon. I'm just pumped to see how these standings shake out.
I am very much as well. Justing, my friend, are you ready for today's games? And how have you been in the off time?
I've got some games I got off the Steam sales, and I'm excited to, I relaxed a bit, and I'm excited to see, how the standings will be finished here. They'll be finalized in this final day. I'm excited. It's the last day of the regular season. It's exciting.
Yeah, today is going to be a big day of games for us here on HeroesCCL. It should be an exciting day overall, and let's go ahead and take a look at the prizing, because I do believe we have some update onto all of that. 60% will be going to the players, as you can see on the left-hand side, 35% going to first place. The remaining 40% will be coming back to Wisdom to be able to create amazing graphics, run the broadcast, and the league. And of course, if you would like to donate towards that prize pool, push us into $13,000. You can use the ! prize pool in chat to donate over on the Matcherino. Because of your generosity, we're at $12,815.69. So thank you all so very much for, well, supporting HeroesCCL, believing in this league, and believing in these players. It's been really, really fun so far. It's going to be a great day of games. Let's go ahead and check out and see what things look like over on our league standings, because I do believe Grubby did want to kind of take a look at a little bit of this over here.
Okay, here are the standings. So 30k and Oxygen are definitely qualified for top 3. 30k definitely rank 1. Oxygen could still be rank 3 instead of rank 2. If Chili Mountain wins 3-0 today, they shall overtake Oxygen. As for Wildheart and Diamond Hands, Wildheart can still qualify, Chili Mountain can still auto-qualify, so it's between the two of them and Chili Mountain's result. Any victory will see Chili Mountain to be top 3. If it is a defeat, Wildheart becomes top 3. Diamond Hands can improve their standing over Chili Mountain by 3-0ing Chili Mountain, but it will be Diamond Hands taking 4, Chili Mountain 5, and Wildheart will be elevated and promoted towards rank 3. Diamond Hands should want to do this. Winning 3-0 today means they have to win one fewer game in the gauntlet. As for Storm, Granit Gaming, and Simplicity, only Granit Gaming can still try to influence their lot. Their map score is right now 3 points worse than Storm. So if they win 3 games, they'll have the equal map score, and it will come down to the direct result, which Storm won. So there's no chance for Granit Gaming to overtake Storm anymore.
Well, we'll take a look and see what matches we'll have today, and these are the final 2 best-of-5s for the group stage here, Justing.
Yep, we've got 30k going up against Granit in our first match, and as Grubby hinted at, this will not affect the standings for either teams, because 30k is in first with a 6-0 scoreline right now. But Granit Gaming has been pretty confident in their interviews, saying that if they make it to LAN, they are the strongest team there. And if they want to ramp up as the season progresses, and they want to continue the trend of taking at least one map off of each team, it'll have to be here against 30k, our team that's undefeated with the 6-0 record. And in the second match, we have Diamond Hands going up against Chili Mountain. Grubby talked about this. This is going to decide who the third place team is. If Chili Mountain wins, they will secure third place. If Diamond Hands wins, they can send Wildheart above Chili Mountain and send Wildheart into the third place spot, and also help themselves in the standings for the gauntlet. So the second match, unbelievably important.
That is probably the marquee matchup of the day, but of course we are going to be getting into this first matchup of 30K versus Granit Gaming to kick off the day. And of course, to kick things off, as always, we have Next Level Gaming to, well, sponsor HeroesCCL. What is Next Level Gaming? They're a Miami-based esports center where you can play Heroes of the Storm among 400 other pre-installed games that are updated daily. Next Level Gaming is also a Blizzard Cafe, which gives you some extra benefits on your account, like all heroes being unlocked and extra experience as well. They've got an amazing computer over at this esports center with Intel i7 processors and RTX 3090s. Those HP Omens are a beast. And with that beast, you got to have a monitor as well. A 24-inch monitor at 240 Hz or a 32-inch monitor at 144 Hz. Be sure to use !NXT in chat to find out all you can about this amazing esports center. Thank you once again for sponsoring HeroesCCL Season 4. But of course, let's also talk about Ball Street. We love Ball Street. They have joined HeroesCCL Season 4 to bring you CCL Fantasy. We've partnered with Ball Street to bring you CCLmarkets.com. It's a free pick'em game that lets you choose Heroes CCL winners in real time as you watch the action. Simply buy shares of the team you think is going to win the matchup and sell shares of the team you think is going to lose. The best part, you can change your mind at any time because the market is always open. Buy and sell all match long to get a better score. Every night, the top traders on CCL Markets will win prizes, and you can compete all season long. Join cclmarkets.com and win prizes as you watch today's broadcast. Thank you again, Ball Street, for partnering with HeroesCCL. But let's go ahead and start breaking down these teams here. Justing on the side of 30K, who do we got?
30K, we have the Superstar NA Dream Team with Caterpillar playing the tank, a seasoned HGC veteran alongside Cure, the flex for the team, another player who's been around in the scene nearly forever. He's played in HGC, he's played in Dorms. We have Legacy, the two-time winner of CCL on Simplicity, Liam, the winner of all the awards in the offlane, Madara, the ranged, who was formerly playing for Oxygen in the other seasons of CCL, and B-Kid, their sixth member, their substitute.
It's a strong roster right there, looking to make the 7-0 happen today. But of course, on the opposing side of the battleground, Grubby, who do we have on Granit Gaming?
Granit Gaming, once among the best in the world. From Team Fnatic, now under Granit Gaming with Azerite, we have Breeze, Oik, SMX, Wooby, and Quacknix. Well, these guys, they have a long history, but by now they've been making some history in CCL Season 4, so let's focus on that. When Granit Gaming looked the best, they manipulated the map's macro in masterful ways. And while they didn't always have 100% synergy and execution in the team fights, they were so good at macro that they've started to be able to both win maps and even a best of 5. Let's see how they do today against 30K. Although neither Granit can be moved from rank 7, nor can 30K be moved from rank 1, this is the final match before the playoffs, where Granit Gaming will have to prove themselves in a gauntlet, a knockout where they beat rank 6, then rank 5, then rank 4. 3 matches in a row in order to qualify for the top 4 and the LAN.
Yeah, the ladder bracket will be happening on July 9th and 10th, as we will be off next weekend for the U.S. holiday of 4th of July, so we will have that little bit of a break. But it also gives teams time to scrim up a little bit more, adjusting that extra time that before a gauntlet I think is really critical. You can get a lot of good scrim blocks and review of enemy teams in that 2 weeks.
Yeah, we saw that in seasons 1 and 2 with Simplicity, where we had them not performing as well in the regular season, and then during their time off, during their break before, they really practiced hard. They came in super strong, and they were the team that you did not want to face in the gauntlet. So anything can really happen in the 2 weeks leading up to the gauntlet. The rank 8 through 4, it's all going to be kind of up in the air, and it's going to be really exciting to see that once we get there.
For some teams, this 2 weeks is kind of like a hyperbolic time chamber, but we know where we're going to for map number 1. So let's go ahead and jump on over there and figure out what it is that took us to Infernal Shrines. It'll be 30K choosing the map, as Granit Gaming has won the coin flip, opting for first pick priority. Dragonshire will be banned out by Granit Gaming. Garden of Terror banned out by 30K. Stats for this first map, Infernal Shrines, 4-0 for 30K. Granit Gaming with a singular loss. Grubby, thoughts on the map matchup or what we could see in this first best of 5?
I don't know. I've had more of a difficult handle on Infernal Shrines recently. It used to be, like, when the map came out, it was really simple. You would take that new hero, Leoric, and you would take them together with that relatively new tank, Johanna. If you had those two together, you would spam the skeletons over and over and win the objective every single time. Later, there was the Hazuops meta from Team Liquid, where it was Diablo and Lunara together for a lot of splash damage, and then either there was an Illidan and a Rhaegar on the shrine, or a Sonya or a Kerrigan, and those heroes pretty much dominated skeleton taking. Let me pass it to Justin and ask, do you still think it's very much about the shrine fight and who can get more skeletons more quickly, or is macro taking a bigger emphasis on the stage?
It's definitely more about the shrine fight now. There was a small window where crafting a 5v5 composition could get easily exploited by things like Abathur, and that's not really the case anymore. There used to be a lot more split pushing strategies, and right now it's a lot more about playing for control on the shrine, but it's a lot less about things like the Sonya and Kerrigan controlling it, and a lot more about just having long range things like the Tychus with Odin to be able to just passively steal them. That seems to be more the focus, is the long range heroes that are stealing the objective on the opponent's side rather than the thing that just stands and fights like it used to be with things like Sonya and Kerrigan.
Man, you bring up the Illidan on the shrines, and I'm like, oh my god, that's something I have not thought about on this map in a very long time. But there's the Tychus to be coming through. Lucio, Junkrat, pretty standard bans from both sides. I do really like this Tychus to kick things off. Overall, just good control in the team fights, as well as the Odin, or even Draken Laser Drill for the objective phase. As we get 2 more picks here, want to get your thoughts once again, Grubby.
Well, I think it is going to be... Yo, that's so interesting. Normally, Tychus gets brought out to counter the heroes like Blaze and Diablo. Now they're grabbing Blaze and Diablo into Tychus. What's going on? He's supposed to counter them. Now, I think you can't stop here. Obviously, they're comfortable with Diablo Blaze into Tychus. They think these heroes are so important, and I agree, actually. I think Blaze should be one of the first 4 bans almost every time. He's so good. I think you need more percentage damage. You need more things that kill and bully Diablo, and this is interesting. Deckard and Maiev, they have really good CC together. CC is one form of countering Diablo. If you constantly ping-pong him with Garrus, Junkrat, Maiev, you root him and slow him with Deckard, he can still feel pretty helpless, especially if you CC him longer than his spell armor lasts. But do we need a Malthael? Do we need a Leoric to take him down?
Feels like 30k needs that. A little quick stat right here. I was just looking. Liam's Blaze is 9-2 for the season right now. He's very comfortable on that one. But Justin, we've had a couple bans. We're getting into the second phase. Thoughts?
Yeah, Garrosh was mentioned. I could see that being picked up for Granit later on here. They do pick the Blaze and Diablo into the Tychus, but it might also be that if you're up against Blaze and Diablo and you don't have Tychus, you might be in trouble. So 30k potentially picking that partially as sort of a deny, because they won't have the Tychus to deal with it. So while it's a relatively even matchup to have the 2 heroes into it, it's not, unlosable. You don't want to be in a position where you can't kill the Diablo or the Blaze. And Tychus can only focus 1 target at a time with the minigun, so having 2 big HP targets like that might be in his face can be problematic. And Blaze can also get the attack speed slow that can reduce the minigun effectiveness.
Alrighty, well, 2 more picks here. Grubby, thoughts? It's pretty simple draft for 30k, honestly.
Perhaps Leoric and a tank such as can be Muradin. Or whoa! Wobby first hit us with the Gaslow. Now it's Ragnaros. That is interesting. So how does Ragnaros come into play? Is he gonna go Lava Wave, the Storm League method? Or are we actually Sulfuras smashing on top of Anduin after he pulls someone back with Leap of Faith?
That's an option too, honestly. Justin, any thoughts?
Yeah, it's very interesting, and we have a last pick Imperius come out, so it's a triple melee comp for 30k with a solo ranged in Hanzo. Not a huge fan of that in general. Hanzo's not really the best hyper carry. You have the option to go into the Redemption to turn him into more of a hyper carry with the level 1 quest, but you don't see that all that often, so I'm kind of expecting 30k to struggle a bit, kind of doubling down with the melee heavy composition into Ragnaros. Ragnaros does have the option to go into the Q talents at 13 or the E talents, which are they're both enhanced dramatically if you're against more melees. So going into now 3 melees between the Blaze, the Diablo, and the Imperius, you either have the opportunity to take the CDR at 7 or you can take, I mean, you can take both actually. You can take the CDR at 7, you can also take the E build, which I'm expecting from the Ragnaros, which gives you a shield for each target it hits. So into 30k's composition, it's suddenly actually a pretty good pick, and it works well with the Maiev, especially if we see the Cage come out. I'm not sure if we will see the Cage, as Disc has been buffed recently. It has the Silence now, and it's been kind of the priority pick, but Maiev Cage plus Ragnaros Smash is actually really strong, the Sulfuras Smash. It pulls everyone together at the same time, typically, when people are trying to retreat out of it, and you can get a huge Sulfuras Smash. So we'll see if we have that, or if it is the Lava Wave. They do have the ability to just play for hooks off the Shrine. There is the Anduin pull, but it's kind of difficult to really be in a position to play for pulls against Stitches as Anduin, and Anduin does have to stand still to heal, which gives him makes him an easy target for Stitches. So I actually kind of prefer Granite Gaming's composition. The only thing that they really lack is having a cleanse in Deckard. Deckard can't save people from one-shots, but 30k's composition doesn't have the most burst on the front line without the Imperius at least. So it's an interesting composition from Granite. I'm excited to see how it works for them.
Well, we'll see how things unfold here on Infernal Shrines, map number 1 in our first best of 5 of the day. We got Liam on the Blaze, Madara on the Hanzo, Cattle to play Diablo, Cure on the Imperius, and Legacy on the Anduin. Over on the side of Granite Gaming, we've got Smexy on the Deckard, Azerite on the Tychus, well beyond the Ragnaros, Breeze to play the Stitches, and Poik on the Maiev. You know, the draft, I agree here, Grubby, that the draft does look really good for Granite Gaming, but it's, when I look at the names and who's on what side and the history, then I kind of go, okay, well, I think 30k should take this one personally. The Imperius is a little odd, but I think it can really kind of come into play late game, and I think 30k will take it. It's just going to take a bit of a climb for them. Maybe around level 10 we'll see a big power spike. What are your thoughts here, Grubby, as well?
Yeah, Imperius' job is to kill the Stitches, right? It's kind of like what Thrall does. So if you're choosing to kill a frontline, we've seen 3 CCL responses that come in from the melee. 5. Leoric and Malthael.
Okay.
Then you take the more melee assassin bruiser role, such as Thrall, Imperius, and Kharazim.
Okay.
Kharazim and Imperius can be used when you want to kill frontline, but you can't do it with Thrall because there's too much counter CC against you. What Kharazim does is he can do the 7-sided strike while being completely unstoppable and invincible and in fact invisible. Imperius, he's kind of a mix between Thrall and Kharazim. He does have a place on the battlefield, just like Thrall, but he can use the abduction to seize someone and take them with him. But not the sheer damage of 7-sided strike, but the displacement. And this has an extra utility when you're doing it into a Stitches, because when you do the abduction that Imperius does... Sorry, I'm making this way too long. Someone's about to die.
That's okay. No, you're fine.
When you do the abduction that Imperius does, you make Stitches spit out his prey as well.
Yeah.
So he can both save himself and he can save someone else. And that's something Kharazim and Thrall can't necessarily do. So it's kind of it is a mixture of everything that they're trying to achieve against the Stitches pick.
And that's actually a very good point, Grubby, because in the past, you'd see a Stitches come out and the counter would be grab a Nubarak because the Cocoon does the exact same thing, spits the target out. But since Cattle got the Diablo so early, I like this Imperius. Maybe the Wrath of Angiris, the Super Sky Suplex, as I like to call it, is also a great way to counteract the Stitches, and it has good damage. You get some wave clear at level 7 with the Holy Fervor. I think this is kind of an interesting response from the side of 30k, but there's ideas behind it, and we'll definitely see how it all works out. I do want to note the Tychus level 4, he did go the bigger they are. We've talked about this in the past. When you have so many frontliners, like an Imperius, like a Diablo, like a Blaze, yes, you'll drop them down to 30%, but then, let's say Diablo drops to 30%, then Blaze steps in, and Diablo cycles out, and then Blaze drops to 30%, so now Imperius steps in. So this does weaken the frontline, but there's still so much rotation within the team fight from 30k being able to swap out players in the front line. I think this might not work out still for the Tychus on the side of Granite Gaming. But of course, the team fights will kind of explain everything for us, as we will see our first objective phase fight starting out right here in the mid lane, and it is going to be Arcane Punisher.
Yeah, and I agree with you about the Tychus talent. I think it is controversial no matter what he takes, because Bigger They Are does follow up better on Gorge. And that's probably what he's going for. So there's no clear right or wrong here, right? You make a very good point, and probably they're just going to try to play off Gorge more rather than having him standing there and gunning everybody in a row.
That's a very fair point. It might be just for that single target deletion. I wasn't thinking about the abduction phase, but the phase of the objective is available. Breeze getting pulled around, so is Cattle. There's going to be a Molten Core from Ragnaros. In my opinion, this is a little early. Leap of Faith from Cattle will be onto Cattle, and I still think 30K gets this. The reason I'm saying this Molten Core was early is that you need to be around 25-ish skeletal defenders, and then the duration of the Molten Core will finish out those last 15 or so. Now, you don't have Molten Core for defense, you're going to lose the objective, and you don't have that extra barrier to protect your fort. Granted, 30K is going to 39 this, and there's another 100 seconds or so on the Molten Core cooldown, so this could actually work out.
Yeah, it's like what you were saying, and you have a choice to use it to win the objective or to defend against it, and you think maybe he ended up not choosing the right thing. I think it might be true. It was not likely going to win the objective anymore.
Oh, sure. Oh, and he might not. Oh, nice hook from Breeze to save Wubby. He would have been killed right there.
But good find by 30K to see that, hey, there is a constellation prize attempt here by Granit Gaming. We're going to go and invade. Now they've got the Khazra helping. Really nice. They attack. They do about 73 DPS per, so that's 200 DPS. That's more than Dragon Laser Drill would do if it came out at level 7. So that's some pretty nice damage coming in that helps killing that tower right there. Nice little lead for 30K. They had that one Ragnaros kill early game, which was actually a little weird. It was 5v4, but none of Granit Gaming went to help him as he got caught in the lane.
And the good... Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, he did like a... Whoopi did a top to bottom rotation at like 3 minutes, and all 4 were taking this discount, and he died right above them, and none of them stuck out a hand. Bystander's effect.
Oh no. The thing that I wanted to note here is just how 30K is kind of opening up the map in all lanes. We've got Siege through top lane, the gate's already down. Because I was taking a look at the objective and I was like, wow, this objective didn't get a lot of value for 30K. But when you actually take in the cumulative value that 30K's had so far on the map, they've gotten front gates down, which is kind of will open up future objective phase plays. Man, Legacy with these Leap of Faiths. I'm actually going to make sure I'm watching him because it seems like he gets it just in time every time.
Yeah, very frustrating for Granit Gaming because essentially they made 2 plays that normally constitute a kill. Oh, Wubby get caught.
Or Ragnaros.
Yeah, and you know, that's interesting because essentially Granit Gaming and 30K did the same thing. They were both able to secure a kill with their initiation, with their skill shots, with their rotations. But Anduin saves a person, and Rag could not be saved because all of his team was just trying to get the kill down there. So unlucky for Wooby that space was not created and that he was caught right there.
So what do we have here? Sulfur Smash for the Ragnaros. We're getting those 10s coming through. There is that Wrath of Angiris, as we were talking about at the start of the game, that abduction or sky suplex, whatever you want to call it, for Imperius. That is going to be a great way to stop any sort of Stitch's Gorge, or even could be the abduction from 30K. You know, it's like, oh, you want to play Stitches abduct into us? We're going to go play an Imperius abduct into you. We do also have Containment Disc for the Maiev, which is great, and Stitches is holding 10. The assumption is it's going to be Gorge with the setup right now. Stay a while and Sulfurs. No?
Yeah, normally you would think so, but considering there is Leap of Faith, and then there'll be 2 Leap of Faith, and there's 3 melee, and Bunker, and Sky Suplex, or it's called Wrath of the Angiris, I wouldn't terribly mind Bile. I know it is an unimpactful, difficult to combo ultimate ability, but I could kind of see it here. And I'm kind of leaning on the fact that Granit has been a little weird, a little different.
That's fair.
They do pick Rag, they do go for the Gaslow, and then with him holding it, I could see maybe going for the Bile. I mean, it is a slow and damage. It's not super amazing. He picks the Gorge. That's for the Gorge anyway. Massive copium on my side. There's an arrow, there's a stay a while. Listen. Cure uses Deckard to get away.
Light Bomb from Anduin connects onto 2. Cure gets the Celestial Charge, backs away. Lightning Breath from Diablo, a hook onto Legacy. Can't Leap of Faith herself there, but here comes Liam with the Pyromania. That's a bunker down as well. We have Commandeer Odin, and Deckard goes down. The old man will go to the retirement home for the next 22 seconds, while we have the top lane camp still pushing in. I think that guarantees the fort.
Yeah, it's going to guarantee the fort, and this was quite well played by both teams. But 30K had the tools And they made the plays in order to get away. Particular Chef's Kiss there to cure using the Wrath of the Endurus on the one person to the left of him, on Deckard. There is a bit of a wind-up. You can try to dodge it, but it's not easy per se. Oh, the grenade didn't interrupt the cyber agility. Hanzo gets away. Wait, it's not cyber agility. It's natural agility. He's not some kind of cyber like his brother.
Yeah, right? He's the natural. I do want to point this out. Ragnaros Wubby made it to the top lane fast enough and did save the top lane fort. It's on a sliver of HP, as we do have this Frozen Punisher, or Mortar Punisher, excuse me, misreading the icon there. Mortar Punisher coming in through the bottom lane in favor for 30k. Now Liam, on that Blaze, goes to top lane. He should guarantee the fort. A little scatter out from Madara, more of a scouting tool than anything.
Yeah, that top fort only has 15% of Diablo HP left, so it should be pretty easy to take down for Blaze. He's going for it now. He's burninating it, and it has been burninated indeed. Bottom fort goes down too to the Punisher. Is he here to pick up XP or just to win one-on-ones? He's not going to go over the wall, is he?
I think he's just mostly sieging, just trying to push up that wave a little bit while the Punisher got pulled over the gate. We do have a stay while and listen. Little late, unfortunately. Leap of Faith from Anduin, 65-second cooldown.
I like how he finished the whole story. He's like, someone can still walk in.
Do you know, honest to God, if I play ETC and I whiff a mosh, I do the whole dance, because, you know, sometimes you gotta have a solo dance party and be sad.
Yeah, well, it's such a rare ult to actually go off. So I get it. Plus, it's funny. Like, I know we should be competitive and always only try to win games, but it's kind of funny when you're just standing there rocking like no one is watching.
It's like I own my failure right now here on the battleground. The next objective, I'm looking on the minimap. It actually isn't shown just yet, so we don't know where it's going to be spawning. But it's actually going to be in top lane. Just popped up right now. Frozen Punisher in top lane. And that's looking good for the side of 30k, who have gained a massive experience lead. Granit Gaming, they're setting up for a sort of gank. This is exactly what Granit needs, the abduction of play. Now, will they be able to get this kill? Here comes the Wrath of Angiers. There's going to be an arrow from Hanzo, and Deckard Cain is plopped right next to a light bomb from Anduin. And here comes Kato. They want more. They want blood. They want a second kill.
Oh, that was disgustingly well played by 30k. I'd love to see a replay of that. It's actually sick that the light bomb hit the Deckard before Deckard showed up.
Did it really?
So, yeah, it seems like light bomb can stun you while you're midair. A kind of KO in midair, if you will.
Huh. Well, there's a molten core.
See that again. Yeah. It was very close for Granit Gaming to get the kill. They just needed Maev's tether to proc before Imperius's animation of Wrath of Angiers came off. They had the minigun spamming into him. They probably tried to grenade. I think Cure probably held Wrath just for a bit in order to try and aim it between the obvious immediate follow-ups on the Stitch's disgorgement. And then the tether came, and he managed to disjoint the tether with the Wrath. That was so sick.
Hook onto Madara. Here comes Cattle from the shadow. That will be a containment disc. Light Bomb onto Legacy, but he's not able to close the distance. That's a huge stay while and listen, but still, the Ragnaros will fall. Blaze is going to be abducted through the gate. Now, does he have bunker? He does. He pops out immediately. The members of 30k are working on the sidewall, and Liam gets a huge jet propulsion out of that. Cure goes in. He's actually going to abduct the Tychus right now. That's a jet propulsion.
No.
That's another kill. The members of 30k have just found the Achilles heel of Granit Gaming, it seems.
What, playing really, really well? Yeah, that's everyone's Achilles heel.
But I mean, like...
Granit Gaming, the perfect team. Unbeatable until they found a team that played better.
Yes, exactly. Just let's take a look at a replay. I'm done.
Look at this. There's the tether, and it's just about proc. Look at this light bomb. He's stunned when he came down. KO in mid-air indeed. 30k is very clean. There's the shadow charge on the minion, using the bonus 15% movement speed to walk up to Tychus, overpower Tychus, and indeed the rest was history.
Before Twitch chat flames me on my verbiage, okay? They found a way to counteract this draft of Granit Gaming. Sorry, Achilles heel. I'm
Okay.
But either way, the big thing that I want to point out though is that this composition from Granit Gaming was supposed to abduct a single target, blow them up, and kill them, and it's 7-0. It seems like any time Granit goes for this abduction, it's actually Granit who are being the ones punished for it. Like it's like, oh, we got the Imperius, or did you just put Imperius right next to Smexy and now he's gonna focus on the Decker Kane again?
Yep, that's the curse of the Stitches sometimes.
A little bit.
He's not always working for your side. He's kind of a mercenary. It's a great engage for 30k when the Gorge happens.
This is really interesting. 30k gives away the Punisher, a frozen Punisher, to allow Liam to push up bottom a little bit into mid. What does Granit Gaming get with this? Diablo, very low. That's a lightning breath. There's going to be the abduction. A Sulfuris Smash does snipe this Diablo. He will respawn in a second here. Maiev will be traded. Wubby, very low, should go down to 1 auto, and that is a double kill in favor for the side of 30k. Smexy is being chased. Oh, poor old man. As this is the
poor Smexy.
This is the bottom lane push that Liam did 20-30 seconds ago. They're gaining 30 or so % off of the core of Granit Gaming from a split push and giving away the objective. So it does right now. 30k showcasing you don't need the objective to win. You can just get a good team fight and destroy the enemy.
That's what they're doing. They're going straight for the core. It's been hurt already. This was 30k in all their fearful supremacy. Granit Gaming had a couple of good moments, but it came to naught when 30k was their opponent.
GG's to 30k. They all get in the bunker as a happy family. I really have to say, like, I think 30k dismantled everything that Granit threw at them. Yeah, there was a shining moment or two for Granit Gaming, but every single time there was a shining moment, like that top lane, for example, when Diablo died. Madara still came through with a huge arrow, and we still had Cattle with some damage from the lightning breath and massive trade. I mean, 1 for 5 essentially. But Justing, you've probably got a lot to break down from this, and let's hear your thoughts on Infernal Shrine map number 1, first best of 5 of the day.
So while we're still looking at the talents quick, I want to point out the Ragnaros 13 and 7, I don't understand. I thought that the main purpose of the Rag was to counter the big melees. At level 7, you can take the Q CDR that gives you reduced cooldown on your Q if you hit 2 or more heroes. And at level 13, you get the shields. Notice all the E talents besides the 13. I don't understand that in the slightest. That's kind of, to me, like each hero kind of has, for the most part, each hero has one thing that they really excel at. And to me, that's the Ragnaros thing that he excels at right now, is the E build with the shields and getting AoE shields on a lot of melees. That 13 is the most critical talent to the whole build, so I don't really understand that. I just wanted to point that out, that was my expectation of why they picked the Rag, was to, you know, counter all those heavy melees. And he didn't take the critical talent that kind of does that, so I'm not really understanding that. If Granit does win the series, I'd like to ask him about that, but what the Rag pick was intended for. But something about this game that I do like a lot in the draft is Pure playing Imperius. Oh, really quickly, this fight, and then here we have a smash that's a little bit late too. Unfortunately, it allowed Kira to get time to get the kidnap ult away, using SMX as kind of a target. Granit Gaming had the right idea with this combo, but it's just the execution isn't perfect for them yet, and they need to layer their CCs perfectly and layer everything perfectly, because that tiny little window there that they gave Kira was enough for him to escape. You have to combo things like this perfect when you have a composition like this that's so combo focused. Like here again, like you have these tiny windows. If you are able to get even just the stun duration from Smash, that might be enough for Kira to go down there, but you give him the tiniest window and he'll escape on the Imperius. Kira on the Imperius is my MVP for this game. He played really well, and that was something that I had talked about in the previous weeks with him picking Thrall and somewhat relying on it in the draft, is if he was not comfortable playing Imperius as kind of a replacement for Thrall, as a melee hero that you can play in the 4-man, that you can use to be able to kill tanks. Thrall is pretty much the only other one that 30k has used, so that Madara can play something like a Chromie that doesn't kill tanks and have that be their solo range. We need, if Cure wants to have or if 30k wants to have a well-rounded draft, Cure needs to be competent on Imperius, because it's the only hero that fills the same role as Thrall. So seeing him play it and play it well was really good to see from a 30k's perspective, like seeing them, wanting them to do well at the LAN, like just as a fan, seeing them be 6-0, like the super team, the team that, I love it when a team comes through and just crushes everybody. Like I think that's the most hype to watch, to see one team that is kind of playing at the absolute highest level. That's my favorite thing, is to see it played at the best level possible. So I like seeing that from Cure in particular, but 30K just showing off, you know, they are the 6-0 team. Granite Gaming is the 1-5 team, and 30K just, you know, kind of doing whatever they want after the second half of that game. They get one objective and they kind of just break open the game off of that. So and they ended in situations where we've seen some lower ranked teams not end. Like they were all out for blood instantly. As soon as they get those kills top, they're already heading to the core once just one or two people have died. So I'm loving what we're seeing from 30K, and I hope Granite can kind of pick it up.
The 30K team has definitely taken a page out of our book, the crush the opponent indefinitely, and it does feel like that a little bit with how they're playing and how they're scaling. I do want to shout out to the community. Thank you all so much. We broke $13,000 today. Thank you all so very much. That is a big... It's a big milestone, so thank you all so much for donating towards the prize pool. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're going to for map number 2, because I do believe we have that ready to go for all of you at home. It is going to be the members of Granite Gaming on the losing side opting for first pick priority, so 30K will choose to take us to Alterac Pass. As always, some fun map stats. 30K 4-1 on this map, Granite Gaming 0-2. Now, Grubby, as we get ready for Alterac Pass, it's a pretty big map. Macro is, I think, a little bit more important than, or it's a little bit more utilized here than Infernal Shrines with some of the splitting, the double bossing. Do you think we could see some alternative drafts, or could we see some repeated heroes like the Imperius, maybe even the Ragnaros as well, maybe with a lava wave instead?
Let me put it this way. On Alterac Pass, this is a big 3-lane map with 2 bosses, top and bot, and a very spammable nullpack camp. Macro would be important. The map is big. Normally, macro tools are always very good on this map. Yet, we never see Abathur, Rag, Lava Wave, or Vikings on this map. And not even particularly many globals, though we do see some. But it's not as big of an emphasis as on a smaller map like Sky Temple. Why is that? How can a map be that big and have XP soaking macro tools be that relatively unimportant? Everyone
Justin
can have their own answer for it.
Yeah.
I'll just give mine. The objective is too strong to be ignored and outsoaked.
So it's not... Oh, go ahead, Justin, please.
Yeah, the objective is one of the strongest, if not the strongest in the game right now. So you definitely can't ignore it. And the XP, the fact that you have to get 2 keeps down before you can actually make a real concentrated effort to end the game means that you're pretty much always getting to 20 no matter what, unless you're very, very far behind. So I think that is the main thing, is you have to play for the objective. This, in a strange way, Alterac has almost became the old Infernal Shrines, where there's no alternative to playing for the objective, because it's just so strong.
Now, we're talking about all these macro heroes. Is something like because Abathur kind of feels not defensive, but it's like you're passively soaking. You're kind of letting the lanes push out. You're going through the objective phase. Does something like a Samuro here, Justin, does that kind of fit the map a little bit better? Because he can siege really well. He can get kills. He can maneuver around the map, and he can also he can be sneaky. He can be Zeratul-esque. Could you see something like a Samuro who is more globally if you go to that level 10?
I think in theory, something like a Samuro is pretty good on Alterac if you combo it with something like the Abathur, because there are certain combos with Samuro that are quite strong. The main issue with Samuro is, in order to get the value that you would like out of him, you kind of have to be almost a one-trick at him. You have to play him... He's as difficult at the highest level as something like a Vikings would be, where you either can play him and you play him a lot, or you just aren't capable of playing him to the level that you would need to get the value. So you really have to put a lot of time into Samuro if you want to make him work.
Okay, it's just one of those things that it popped in my head since we were talking about theories on the map. But we do have a lot of draft evolution so far. So Grubby, any thoughts on what we've seen, or even future bans?
3 melee from Granite Gaming. They're probably going to go with 2 ranged for the next. Falstad is an obvious one, and that is quite strong. I think that's a good ban. So far, it's interesting to see a Nubrak early, but of course that's really the only map where you see him come out before you have a clear counter target. Now it's up to 30k to really abuse the Anubarak. So what abuses Anubarak? To a degree, Greymane can do so. Vala really punishes Anubarak, especially level 16-20.
Oh yeah.
Which this map usually goes towards. you're probably going to stay away from things like Li Ming and Mephisto now. It offers a lot of draft flexibility for 30k. Another thing that's really good into Nubrak is simply just going triple melee. Sylvanas may be the only range. They're saving Cure for the last spot. This makes a lot of sense. Deckard absolutely punishes melee with his large slows from Sapphire and the triangle.
Justin, Grubby made a perfect point here, and I'd like you to elaborate on this. Why is it so good for Cure to have this flexibility in the last spot right here?
Yes, this is something that we talked about a bit in our draft etiquette videos, is if you are second pick, you really want to leave your last pick as your flex pick so that you can, like at this point, they can pick anything. They have a range, they have an off lane, a tank, and a healer. So the last pick can be anything for Cure. It can be a melee like Thrall. It could be something like Zeratul even. They could pick a Gazlo in the 4-man. You have basically infinite options. Lunara is also available. Something like a Zarya would even be an option here with the Deckard. We haven't seen Cure pick it, so I'm not expecting that, but he does have the option to go into something defensive if they feel like they are worried about their backline getting blown up. That is the one weakness of Deckard, is not having the cleanse. But they do pick the Thrall. That makes quite a bit of sense. One thing that I am that has become a bit of a trend for 30k is Cure is being kind of almost stuck in this role of playing things like the Thrall and things like I believe Imperius is going to kind of be a part of that role, where he is in charge of kind of being the tank killer in a lot of these drafts. Madara easily could have been on Chromie this game, and it would have been a similar situation where they need the Thrall for percent damage. This game they don't need that, but it gives you the tankiness against the Genji. So it's 30k's drafts seem almost solved at this point. They seem very predictable with what they do, but they kind of cover all the bases, and they have the players who can play it. We have Madara, really good on things like the Sylvanas. We have, on the other side now, a lot of dive between the Anubarak and the Genji and the Hogger, who can even go Hortipult, which we haven't seen too much. It's been a lot of Shockwave. But Granite Gaming's composition, outside of struggling slightly to kill tanks with only having a Cassia as their real frontline damage, does have a pretty good dive right now into a Deckard that has a very, very hard time saving people. So we'll have to watch Liam with the bunkers on the Blaze to be able to save people and see if Granite's coordinated enough to dive the backline.
Well, thank you, Justin, because we are here, excuse me, into Alterac Pass, 30k on the left-hand side, up in the series, Legacy on the Deckard, Liam on the Blaze, Mater on the Sylvanas, Cattle on the John, and Cure on the Thrall. Over on the side of Granite Gaming, we've got Wubby on the Hogger, Smexy on the Rhaegar, Breeze on the Anubarak, Poik on the Genji, and Azerite on the Cassia. Now, I want to point out something very important here at the start. We have a Sylvanas composition on the side of 30k, and you can see that a bunch of them are rushing to top lane. Why is this? Well, they want to go ahead and take one tower. They're going to position high in the lane, and they'll lock down one tower, focusing down that tower. This is an important thing to note, and look at their positioning. Once that bottom tower or the lower tower in the lane is unblackened arrowed, it won't actually target anyone because 30k is playing to the high side of the lane. Little positioning thing just to note, if you are trying to do this in your own games, that's the reason why they're positioning and rushing so high. It's not just to be in a bush or anything like that, it's just how the targeting on the towers work. But of course, my little explanation aside, I'm thinking 30k can take this. As Justin said, they kind of check every box. They've got everything they need. They've got a three-dimensional draft that, well, has roots, has stuns, has blinds, and has the potential to kill. What are your thoughts here, Grubby?
Yeah, I find the Cassia to be a big weak link pick. I don't really understand why you would play Cassia into Blaze, Johanna, Deckard, and Thrall.
You don't win that,
I just don't think it's a... Yeah, I just don't think it's a good matchup. You get the blind from Cassia, well, 30k is not particularly auto-attack reliant. They have a lot of CC. They have some auto attack, yes, but they have spell damage as well. And then you now have no range at all. Like both Genji and Cassia are fake ranged.
Yeah.
They are a full dive team into bunker, condemn, punish. Like I bet Johanna will even complete her level 4 quest. I think it's gonna be tough. But I can see how they want a more independent ranged damage dealer that has some armor trait. And get the Rock Stapper at level 20, the 60 armor. And how, since everyone is going to dive anyway, they may have felt like it's out of place to go with a Junkrat, a Chromie, any kind of Rainer-esque quality. So they just want to be up there and all in. But look what just Blaze, Johanna, and Sylph did.
Yeah.
That's a 3v4.
Oh, no, Thrall gets
everyone
this.
from... Yeah. Everyone from Granite is just suffering, right? Because Blaze gets one stun, and everyone is locked in. Turn on the Pyromania, the oil, the fire, and that's all she wrote. That was a 4v3 with null pack advantage. It's really well played by 30k, but you can see how it may be tough for Granit.
Absolutely, and I think what you were saying earlier about Joanna finishing out Subdue fairly early, or at least getting it done, she hit 3 people right before Subdue was actually picked, but let's go ahead and take a look at that replay. So, Anubrak goes in, the Pyromania is in, the Jet Propulsion is one form of CC, the Condemn is the second one, Hogger tries to actually spin in, and Smexy is just trying to live, but at the top of the screen, Thrall comes in, Cure with one Chain Lightning, and then Madara's selling the idea that he's in trouble, so Granit's like, oh, we can get some sort of counter kill, or trade. No, it's not the case at all, and 30k walks away with a big experience advantage right now, a solid level and nearly a talent.
For the rest, let's look at Genji's build here. He's got the old build, the E build. This, we don't really see this one anymore. I can't help but feel like maybe Poik hasn't updated to the new meta. It's also possible that he has seen it, but he doesn't like it.
That's
or
fair.
Doesn't have experience with it, and he's relying on old strategies. But that Cyber Agility level 1 had been buffed a lot. Shuriken Mastery had been buffed. Lower Quest Threshold. You get that slow on the Cyber Agility at level 1.
Yep.
And you combine it with the level 7, where you get Spell Armor from the Cyber Agility. Now you can cast that a lot. This is the E build. This is E was nerfed since Genji was released, so it doesn't do as much damage. Dragon Blade doesn't get resets at level 10 anymore. Overall, it's just a bit weaker. And we'll see how it goes. Like, theoretically, when you go full E build in particular, even at level 13, you can go swish, swoosh, swish, swash, fast. Another great rotation by 30k. They catch the Cassia, who didn't really see it coming. Maybe didn't get pulled out by the team or something.
Oh, Liam is just feigning like he's in threat right now, and then Joanna makes the rotation with Decker Kane from mid. Smexy locked down. Yeah, Smexy, you can't pick up those other potions. No, I think he was just gapping. He was just trying to create space for Breeze and Poik to back away. That was the reason Smexy was running to the left, not to pick up a potion. But the first objective is still up and available. We've got level 10 about to be here for the members of 30k, and we're not even 5 minutes in.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. 30k looks like they're looking to make this a short one, and we'll see if Granit Gaming can extend their life in this match. Cassie, of course, hasn't been able to stack that much because she's been getting killed 3 times already, and also has to sometimes maybe help with laning. 30k is looking really, really good.
And maybe this is a conversation for after the game, but I'm curious if the Genji or the Cassie was something else, maybe some sort of mage, a Jaina, Kael'thas, Orpheus, something with a little more wave clear, because as I look at this more and more as the game progresses, that is feeling like a very, very detrimental moment for the side of Granit Gaming. Is just they have to try and clear in these waves, and they just don't have enough with some of the players on their team, or some of the characters drafted.
Straight up, Baha, you said Orphea. We don't really see this all that much. There was like one player in CCL that liked to play her. I think I would have liked Orphea more this game.
Yeah, that's
you get
Poke.
3 frontliners. One of them is huge, one medium, and one a bit thinner. Pretty easy to hit. You get lifesteal. You can stay a little bit further. Your wave clear is better, and you get a more impactful ult, most likely. I think I would have liked that quite a bit more, even though it is unusual. Not sure about the Jaina. I don't think it has enough bandwidth to take down the Blaze. Orphea, I think, would have been cool. Strong level 20 as well. So I'm not sure we're going to get there anymore. SMX gets taken down. Cocoon there to try and peel. This is kind of the counterplay attempt, but not really. Brood Charge is on cooldown. That's asleep. I think Nubrak goes down too, and it was not necessary.
He's going to try and avoid. That was actually the scroll of sealing onto Wubby, who does get the spin away. There was actually a really cool moment right there, which I'll talk about in a second, because Cattle did a little bit of tech. There's some really cool timing that Cattle did. I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional, but there's a window in Stay a While and Listen where you actually can damage someone and they stay asleep. And so there was the Stay a While that came out, and Anubrak fell asleep. The Condemn should have woken him up, but it was within this realm and this window where he doesn't wake up. So you still get a little bit of damage. It's cool little bit of tech right there.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever try to make use of that? So when you see Morganis or someone is getting slept by Morganis or any other source, do you sometimes try to squeeze in one more auto attack, gambling that it's not going to wake them up?
Not anymore. I've failed too much at it where I'm just like, I'm not mechanically savvy for this. I know my limitations maybe in the future, but I've messed up so many sleeps or night rushes or stay a while and listen, so I'm just like, I don't do it anymore. It's like how I learned on ECC. You don't always have to hit face melt after you power slide. You can hold your W.
Yeah, it's like trying to fart when your cousin is coming over for sleeping. You're like, I don't think this will wake them up. Like, oh no, misjudged again. Yeah, you just gotta stop. Plus, it's not courteous, you know. Never happened to me though, but it's a scenario that you could well imagine. By the way, Bloodlust for Granit Gaming.
Hey, they gotta make something big.
You mentioned it and I missed it, but it's Bloodlust.
It's a bloodlust, and they're going to try and make something big happen with this. Nubrak comes in, the stay well and listen will be there. There's going to be Modar coming in. The Cocoon onto the Blazes. We have the centering out from the Thrall, who is going to be split by the Cassia. The Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas does lock down the Nubrak, and Wubby is going to be silenced for a second or two. The boss is still being contested. Wubby tries to go for the Shockwave, but he can't land it. It's on a 10-second cooldown. It's a triple kill and a boss to the side of 30k, who execute perfectly in this team fight.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. I mean, Bloodlust is certainly interesting. I don't think Genji is going to go for level 13 Way of the Shimada. Ogre doesn't have the level 4 auto attack quest talent. Cassia doesn't have charge strikes. And Anubarak is most likely not going for acid drenched mandibles and level 16 Beetlejuice. These talents that I just mentioned are auto attack talents and synergize from extra auto attack speed. None of them are meta whatsoever. And Bloodlust isn't meta either. This might just be a way for Granit Gaming to say, hey, we know we're outmatched. We're not under any illusions that we have a better chance here. Let's have fun with it, and at the very least, it's just about crazy enough to maybe get a surprise kill or so. Unfortunately for them, Johanna Double Blind is kind of a big counter to Bloodlust. It pretty much spans half the ult's duration.
So the second...
it is Way of the it is Acid Drench Mandibles.
Oh, okay, we got it. So we got the...
We have one at least.
80% extra damage for 4 seconds attacking heroes that are slowed, rooted, or stunned. But it's, I don't see a world where Granit Gaming wants to step in here 3 levels down in talent tier. But hey, no, I'm completely wrong. Centering out from the Thrall, that's a Shockwave into the backline. Bloodlust will be utilized. Rhaegar, Genji already going down. Cocoon onto the Decker Kane. But it doesn't seem like 30k even cares about their health bars because this is Legacy 1v1ing Wubby. We've got a triple kill from Madara. Stay well and listen is going to catch the Knoll. And that is a pentakill in favor for the side of 30k. Actually, the spin is beautiful from Wubby. No, they want core. I mean, look at Madara's positioning.
BM spray! No, yeah, it's like showing he got away. This is probably... Is this? No, it's not. Is it? No, it's not.
I thought it was, but it's not. Wait, Wubby, wait, what? Bye-bye.
Wubby going back in. Okay, it is kind of a quintuple kill. It's not credited as such, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the thing. Monster kill! Now, Bah, you and I, we're pretty big jocks. We know everything about sports.
Oh my god, I love hockey.
Yeah, me too, baseball. I just learned about a mercy rule in baseball. Something like if you're 15-0 in a single inning, or I don't know exactly how much it is. Oh, they just stop the count.
I went to a friend's soccer football game to go cheer them on, and their team was beating the enemy team so bad halfway through. It was like 8-0. They got mercy. My friend's team mercied the other team in soccer.
Wow.
So yeah, no, I know it exists in high school soccer because that's where I went to go cheer on my friends. So yeah, 8-0, man, it was a rough one. It was just goal after goal, but it was fun for me.
This one is 17-0, but there's no mercy rule. There's no forfeit. There's only suffering.
So welcome to Here's the Storm. It's only suffering. Most MOBAs. But this is the cavalry from Vandar Stormpike coming through each lane. Second one for the side of 30k. If 30k can get a keep, if they can get 2 keeps, that could be map number 2 quickly done by 30k. We're not 12 minutes in. We're just shy of 12 minutes, and a second keep has fallen.
Yeah, and who isn't shy is 30k, because they're not asking for an invitation to come in. They're going in with the Blessed Shield. There's a root on Hager. There's the Silence. Madara going in. He kills the Hogger. The Hogger is down. Bloodlust, but everyone is asleep. I hate being bloodlusted when I'm asleep. It's really hard to channel your emotions.
You're angry, but you're tired at the same time. And Breeze gets into the Hall of Storms. We have Genji going down to Madara. Madara, I would say, I think Madara might be the MVP for this game. Legacy had some really good stay-on listens, but Mater on the Sylvanas was really well executed, 20-0 in kills, and 30k takes map number 2 dominantly.
I think that was the most one-sided game we have seen in CCL Season 4.
Yeah.
And I like us to break records. So
Yeah.
thank you both teams for that game.
But it was very, very 30k throughout that game, seemingly from the beginning. Justin, I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts on what we just saw for Alterac Map 2.
Yeah, this is the expectation when you have a team that is 6-0 up against the team in the standings where Granit is. It's 30k, they're not losing any steam as the season goes on. They're just full blast the whole way. I love to see that, knowing that they're qualified for the LAN. This is kind of expected, and this was even stronger performance from them than you would have maybe expected from 30k.
True.
Last week they looked a little bit shaky in their matchup against Chili Mountain. They won, but they didn't look super clean. This week they look reinvigorated. They look very clean. They were completely on point with all of their chain CCs. This is a triple kill at 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, where as soon as they try to get aggressive even a little bit onto Liam, they instantly get turned on. And they layer everything so well. Madara, so brave, just eing forward into the backline. Kira's already rotating to meet them. This is the type of kind of cross-map synergy. Even as soon as the fight begins, Kira's already on his way to mid to start to contribute to this fight. And that was kind of the tale here again. Like, Hogger is still top. Kira's already rotating mid as soon as a fight might happen, and that kind of just felt like the story this whole time. While they're trying to fight mid, you have Liam literally 1v3 in the bot lane, just chilling, just waiting for his team to get there, and they're already rotating as well from mid. And it's just it's a different dynamic between these two teams. 30k, so confident individually, but also just always on the same page as a team, always in the right place at the right time together. And you can tell that they're all really kind of watching for each other at all times. There's never really a moment where anyone's ever caught out alone. There's never a moment where someone seems to get caught off guard by a rotation. They're just always moving together and always just playing super aggressively together and comboing well. So 30k, well deserving of being the first place team. You would kind of know that if this was your first time watching the stream and you saw 30k play, it'd be safe to assume that this is the first place team with the way that they just dominated Granit in this game. On one of their best maps as well. I mean, Eltric finishing the game in 12 minutes has got to be the fastest Eltric game we've had. I'm not positive on that, but I would assume it is. That's super quick for this map. Typically, this is one of the ones that goes a lot later. We were talking about that, how globals maybe aren't as impactful because, I mean, the game's going to always go to 20 for the most part, no matter what. Not this game, not when you're against 30k. And we've got, Kira doing it again on Thrall with the percent damage that he just barely gets at the end of the game. But the CC is what's important. They layer their CC perfectly on 30k. It was always Blaze Stun, the Thrall route with the Deckard Dorito, and you have the Joe stuff to follow it up. It's just perfect CC every single time from 30k. It's kind of just like clockwork for them. It's perfect. I mean, they're our first place team for a reason, and this is kind of what you come to expect.
It is... It's kind of crazy. So I was looking over a production chat. I think it was Simplicity lost to 30k in about 10 minutes on Alterac as well. So Alterac is definitely a strong map for 30k. I don't think you want to take them there ever. But we are here in our first best of 5 of the day. We're through 2 maps, and as always, we take a short little break to let these players stretch their legs. We're going to get our next map loaded up, get the lobby going, and all that kind of stuff in between. While we take this break, as always, I want to encourage you to hit ! Prize pool. Because of your generosity, we've broken $13,000. $13,020.69. So thank you all so much, very much, for just supporting HeroesCCL. It means the world to all of us how much you support this, and you've been pushing the prize pool, and, well, we just very much appreciate it. So thank you all so much. If you'd like to donate further, ! Prize pool in chat. But when we come back, will 30k shut things down on the next map, or can Granit Gaming find a way to rally? Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. I'm not even going to introduce myself because we got Springy here. Yep. That's it. We got Springy. This is the whole broadcast now. Thank you, production,
all
for
other
creating that
arguments are invalid.
We have nothing. Get rid of the bottom plate. Just keep the prize pool. Get rid of 30K versus Granite Gaming. This is now the stream. This is what you've tuned in for, ladies and gentlemen. No, we're here in our first best of 5 of the day. My name is Bahamut, joined by Grubby, Justing, and Springy for this this next draft. We're getting ready for our third map, and 30K is looking dominant. 30K is looking like they want to end this series in a quick 3-0 and start preparing for their trip to Minneapolis for the LAN finals August 5th through 7th. But it's a fun series so far. Grubby, thoughts on the series so far? I mean, 30K obviously looking dominant.
Yeah, and they're not holding back.
No.
There are only two kinds of people in the world: those that hold back and those that don't. No, that's actually not true. I think that's a gross oversimplification, actually. And it's about time somebody called me out on it, even though it was myself.
How dare you?
Yeah. No, there's players that when they're ahead, they tend to take out their sub. They let the sub play.
Mm-hmm.
Wildheart did that. And it's neither wrong nor right. It's just different.
Yeah.
And there's teams that will play the Cho'Gall, the Murky, the Probius. And then there's teams that don't do any of that. That are ruthless, and they are actually building their aura of invincibility. And in this case, that aura may actually be real, not just something wishy-washy. So yeah, they're merciless. They're merciless, and no mercy rule was applied. But they finished the game as quick as they could. 30K.
30K looking strong so far. Let's go ahead and find out where we're going to for map number 3 in this best of 5 series, and we can continue to break things down further for all of you at home, because it will be once again the members of Granite Gaming opting for first pick priority, which means 30K has map choice, and 30K will choose to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for map number 3. Justing, some scores for you. We've got 30K 2-1 on this map, the members of Granite 0-3.
Yeah, and something that I'm beginning to notice is it almost feels like being second pick might not be a disadvantage. I'm starting to feel like picking the map might just be better than having first pick. The way that the draft meta feels right now is it doesn't feel like the first pick team getting their first pick is really winning them the game in every situation. It doesn't feel like there's enough or a few, like the specific number of OP heroes for first pick doesn't seem to exist to make first pick just such a huge advantage that having that last pick after you've seen everything else in the draft and being able to choose the map is almost seeming like more of an advantage to me. So I wonder if we'll see some adaptation from teams going forward into... Because the default is to take first pick. You're losing, and everyone's like, oh, what do we do, Justin? And you're like, oh, just first pick, whatever. Like when you're losing, it's like, that's kind of how it goes. It's like, first pick.
Say the thing, Bart.
Yeah, like, I guess we'll just go first pick again. Like when you're losing, if like things aren't going well, that's how it goes. And I think that's how it is for all the teams, is you're losing, so you just, first pick, see what happens.
I need Warak to make that meme template, but with your face, Justing, of, like, say the thing, Justing. Let's go first pick. But I do want to point out what everyone's favorite fact about Tomb of the Spider Queen. Not only is that Harrison Jones is here, but if you are drafting from position 2, that is the best place to draft a Cho'Gall, and 30K could be drafting said Cho'Gall. That's really the only fact that I need to bring up here. Grubby, any thoughts as well as we are in through some bans?
Yeah, I think you have to go Cho'Gall here.
Thank you. You've seen the light.
Finally.
Yeah. And how do you stop Cho'Gall? Kel'Thuzad or Probius?
Well, obviously it's Murky.
Murky, yeah, not too bad.
Percent
actually. On a big map,
based damage.
I would like it.
With what is it? Wrath of Cod, I think at level 16. So
yeah, that's gonna win for sure.
Get to 16.
Now, Granite Gaming finally get. Oh, there's only 2 kinds of teams. Look, this proves the world isn't black and white.
No.
There's gray areas. 30K went from merciless into Lily and May.
This might prove that everything's actually scripted, because Granite does win 1 game in each series, and 30K potentially is just inadvertently helping the script continue with their Lily first pick.
That
might just be a deny. They wanna avoid the Lily Blaze.
Yeah.
The infamous combo, Lily and Blaze.
Yeah.
Which has never before been seen.
Grubby, why does Lily and Blaze synergize so well together? What's the combo?
Well,
Are you okay?
Man.
Are you okay?
No, Lily has no synergies, damn it.
I do like this Malfurion ban from the side of 30k. It's a target against Tracer because Malfurion and Tracer synergize very well, and they synergize extremely well on a small map like Tomb of the Spider Queen here, Grubby.
Yeah.
Just gonna keep putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's been tough so far to actually see where 30k is going.
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
we should do predictions right now. Predictions. Justin, which next two heroes?
Illidan. Not next, but it's coming.
Kerrigan. Oh.
They don't have enough spots for Cho'Gall.
But there is the Ariel Lily synergy.
I don't like this.
So that you have
This is very similar to the draft that we used to play on Warhead, where you would get the boss and run it down at like 5 minutes. This is pretty close to that draft, so it's actually a functioning thing. We'll see what their last pick is. We'll see if they go with a... we'll see if it's a boring offlaner, or if we get something exciting.
What? They threw a die for each pick.
I don't
They
know.
got lucky with Vala.
I don't.
So, guys,
No.
first time HoTS enjoyers. Only Vala is a meta pick here for 30k.
Pretty
All
much.
other four. Well, Stitches is
Stitches,
kind
yeah.
of meta. Yeah.
But it's also like
other three-
Liam. Yeah, Justin, do you have any thoughts or breakdowns as we're loading into the map?
Yeah, so Granit Gaming's composition has a Kael'thas without any setup. Blaze Interior, really not the point-and-click CC that you want with the Kael'thas, so the Kael'thas might struggle. We'll see if he goes Convection or if he takes the bad talent at level 1. And on the bit of 30k, we have a double support Vala composition with double tank, so a little bit strange not having enough wave clear there, potentially, between the Mei and the Stitches. We'll see if it's Mei or Stitches in the offlane, which one actually is their offlaner. But they have a Vala Oriole, played by Cure, and I'm assuming Legacy, but maybe Madara running around together. They're going to have a 2-man of the Vala trying to create chaos while the rest of the team... I mean, they might actually just group as 4 and run it down. We'll see what 30k looks to do. They kind of have an Alteric composition where you just get boss and siege one lane, so we'll see if that works for them.
Well, let's actually find out what 30k is going to do right now and jump into their comms.
Well, I will auto them and hopefully
Yeah,
not
you can kill everybody.
I'll try to either bump them next to walls or we can whip them into May W.
Yo, Lexi, you got your hat on the wrong person.
Oh, sorry, I'll have to leave. Right.
Thank you.
I'm looking for a hook. Yeah, they're in there. Oh, there's a Tracer here.
Oh, they're
Tracer's
so
playing
scared right now.
bottom side.
Oh, they're absolutely terrified.
We can Anduin maybe?
Oh,
can you-
let's tree back.
I'm getting kind of body. I might
Watch
be dead
the Blaze
actually.
Time.
Yeah, Liam's up. We win
I'm
this.
killing him.
We win this. Kill the Tracer. Nice. Maybe Breeze next.
Yeah,
I'm body blocking them. I'm body blocking them.
hitting
They thought
Greaves.
they had you trapped.
Material.
I
hook him away from the well. I feel. Group.
Yo, that would have been sick.
I wonder where he went.
Going top.
I kinda gotta watch the chain bomb.
Yeah, watch the chain bombs. Maybe we're
Might be the
killing
one
him.
way into this.
I'm kind of body blocked. I think I'm dead. No, we win these.
Why did you leave? I wanted to stay in there the rest of the time.
I really did. I was like, when's a good time to leave? They got the kill. We're into rotations. We got to hear a little bit from 30k what their game plan was in a sense at the start. You know, I'll try and knock them into walls as much as I can. So there is a strategy with this composition. Where the Lily fits in, I guess she's Assassin Lily. She's going Serpent build. So I guess that's where Lily fits in. She's damage.
So Serpent build is the highest win rate build for Lily in Storm League as well. It offers a little bit of damage, a little bit of extra healing. It actually gives amplified healing at, I think it's level 16. No, it's percentage-based healing at 16, I believe. But yeah, it comes with, maybe it's amplified as well, but it comes with some utility. So what is this composition actually? Stitches is mostly just a plug, like a cork. On the bottom lane. He will not do fireworks, but he is a cork. He can try to stop the flow of the lane in the bottom lane. He is a time bomb. Doesn't do much right now, but the time bomb right now says six levels until 6 levels of doing nothing, and then 6 levels later, when he'll be level 10, he can start gorging, right? So he's here just to hold. then what are the other 4? We know that it's a kind of a weird draft, but what actually is it? Yo, this is some nice damage, some good tenderizer healing. What actually are they? Well, they are Vala hypercarry with 2 healers and Mei. Mei also has damage suppression mechanics via blinds and slows and stuns and displacement. So she's kind of like a safer Tyrael that is slower. She does more slows, she's generally safer, she plays more from the back, but she has a lot of protection just like Tyrael. I like the hero quite a bit. She suffers most at not being able to hard punish overstepping enemies. Doesn't have like a point and click shadow charge or power slide. But she makes up for that with damage suppression. So altogether, Vala is going to be extremely... Oh, nice first kill there for Granit Gaming. A 5-man rotation to get the Stitches. The cork has been uncorked. 34 health, Lily gets away. That was a sick escape. So this is a hypercarry Vala composition that does have difficulty to pick someone off, but if they just keep pushing, kind of just running at them and going core like Cure is doing now, this absolutely can work.
Ariel gets a good heal onto Cure, who vaults around, avoiding the flame strikes of Kael'thas, who does have the living bomb applied. He did go into the cowardice level 1 mana addict. No, I'm just kidding. This is the actual good talent level 1. If you go in convection, you're going to be starved of mana, and it's not worth the trade value as to getting this mana addict at level 1, because then you will not be mana starved, and you will also be able to have the arcane barrier for a little bit of safety. Recall from Azerite, blinds from Lily as well. Double blinds actually coming out. Actually, Ariel, did she go into the blind at level 1 as well? No, okay. I think
so. The blind is level 13.
Oh, is it 13 for Ariel? Excuse me.
And usually the highest win rate talent and the most common is the Searing Light, which makes her heal do 30% damage of what it heals. This damage can also generate extra energy when it hits an enemy. And when you hit big minion waves, it gives quite a lot indeed. As 30k does have Lily getting attacked here, the Gravity Lapse hit. And the finish! Nice job there by Azerite with the Tracer. Good play, but the turnaround! Breeze trying to run away. That was a tiny leap of faith, but it was enough. Granit Gaming gets another kill. They are ahead in kills, ahead in XP. That's a big Gravity Lapse! A double Gravity Lapse and Flame Strike! Oik doing some top decking and wrecking as Cattle tries to get away, but he goes down as well to an Ignite!
Unfortunate play from the side of 30k, but Granit Gaming will be able to have some sort of they'll have some sort of kind of climb back in this series right now. It's not looking like a repeat from map 1 or 2. This is a great start for the side of Granit Gaming as they pull ahead significantly in experience. Not sure if 30k expected that or what 30k expected. I really wish they would have just gone for the throat with their draft. This kind of feels a little quick matchy to me, but that all aside, let's take a look at the red Webweavers as they do descend into the lanes for the side of Granit Gaming, and what value does Granit get?
Another Gravity Lapse there on the Lily. Lily quite far forward. Madara channeling the impervious Lily. The fast moving, but Wooby takes a lot of tower shots there. He is so low. He gets attacked there by Mei, a little bit of a slow, but it lacks real impact. That was the final chance for 30k to do an aggressive defense. Now they're going to be forced into passivity with Stitches finding himself lacking in the wave clear department, most likely.
Bottom lane should be the fort completely falling with Tracer and Blaze here. Vala to clear out top, Lila to clear mid. So it should be one structure to the side of Granit Gaming, who are ahead and have their 10 talent tiers. We have the Pyroblast from the Kael'thas.
Hell yeah.
We'll have Light Bomb, we'll have Sanctification. The Tracer upgrade is going to be that Sticky Bomb for the increased radius by 50 and the slow by 70% for 3 seconds, and then Bunker from the Blaze.
No combustion. This is kind of too bad. We had so many balls and explosions. Light bomb, sticky bomb, pyro bomb. Would have been cool to get combustion bomb as well. Combustion kind of a bomb in and of itself. And then judgment and fire the bombs. But no, it is going to be the bunker drop. Much better, of course. Back to back Granit Gaming turn-ins. So the first one already had a massive result. Half a wall mid. Almost nothing top, but an entire fort in the bottom lane. But this is where 30k says enough is enough. Enough is well enough. Because, actually, did I say back-to-back? It was the remainder of the Webweaver phase. Sorry, I thought they turned in again. This is what they want, though. They need 10 more gems, and they're going to try to back-to-back. Let's see if they can. Siege Camp goes over to Granit Gaming, so they have a camp advantage, still have level advantage. But this is where 30k can turn it around with Avalanche, Gorge, and Water Dragon.
Yeah, Water Dragon for the Lily was expected with her build so far. Since we do need that damage, we got the Crystal Aegis for the Ariel, and the last few gems will come in for the side of 30k, as this is mid lane's fight to break out. Weirdly enough, 30k is closing the gap in experience quite quickly here. It still is about a level lead in favor for Granite, but with even 10 talents, it seems a lot of a shorter, smaller hill to climb probably when it comes to just closing any sort of experience gaps. But let's see what happens here with 30k's first objective spawn.
Yeah, let's see how good the wave clear is for Granite Gaming. Phoenix would have been better wave clear, but they've got the Pyroblast to try and blow somebody up. It's an interesting choice because Mei is never a good target. Vala can get Crystal Aegis, so let's see really what value it gets. I'm assuming he's going to hold it until after Crystal Aegis every time, if possible. We'll see how that goes. Hulk doesn't quite connect. Top fort is being completely sacrificed for Granite Gaming. They did a good defense bot though. As the fight breaks out, there is a light. No, not light bomb. There's the Avalanche. Hits one target. Kael'thas gets pumped right into the backline. He wants to do a he wanted to do a point blank Pyroblast on Lily, but he got detainment struck by Ariel. 30k is winning this fight.
I don't know how 30k is winning these team fights. I'll be honest.
There are two big tanks, Stitches and Mei, and you'll feel more and more that you don't have percentage damage.
Yeah.
They had some cool kills early on in the game when the threat from Stitches was still relatively low, but now they don't have percentage damage for Mei and Stitches, and they're gonna have to play completely into Lily, Vala, and Ariel while trying to ignore the Mei. I think a lot comes down to Cattle, whether he can avalanche the team away if they get engaged upon.
I also think the Gorge is a really, really good tool from Liam right there. He gorged the Tracer, who's a consistent damage. We get this Web Weaver spawning, and while the Web Weaver's descending the lane, let's go ahead and take a look at what just happened.
Yeah, there's that sticky bomb. Azurite really tries to go for Lily there, who was really low for a while, and then suddenly with two heals from the supports here, she's full life again. And the problem was there was no follow-up on Lily. Tracer was trying to make something happen. Now nice dodge with Crystal Aegis on the Light Bomb Tracer combination. Sticky Bomb gets Vala, but again, no follow-up. Kael'thas has to stay well clear from Mei.
This is a bunker over here on the bottom of our screen. We have the Liam. Yeah, he's not even going to be going for it. They continue to push the lane. This is back-to-back Web Weavers for anyone wondering. We had one phase end, and then 30k got an immediate turn-in, and they will be able to have more pressure in the lane since the Web Weavers have already pushed up quite a bit from the last one. Liking what we're seeing so far from our blue team in the sense of they're actually making this work. Do I like the draft? I don't like the draft, but do I like how they're executing? Yes. It's good Heroes of Storm play from 30k, but God, their draft just makes me so sad.
I'm gonna make it after this fight. Let's watch this fight first, then I'm gonna ask you a question about hero damage.
Oh no.
Okay?
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, how much percentage of hero damage does Lily have to Vala's 100%?
Okay, I won't look at it. I won't look at it at all. Let's say if Vala did 100,000, Lily, she's done like half. Lily's done 50% of what Vala's done.
It's 99% at the time
Shut
I'm
up.
asking. 25 versus 24 and a half. Lily is almost top damage.
A large hook over the wall doesn't connect from Liam, but the pressure continues from Cure and Crew as the Jet Propulsion will be coming through. Chastise knockback onto Azurite, who's very low on this Tracer, gets the Leap of Faith out, and the pressure continues through bottom lane. Dear Lord Grubby, I'm flabbergasted.
Lily is second highest hero damage in the game. Vala number 1, Lily 2. Vala 1, Tracer 2. Lily's number 3. Number 4 is Kael'thas, and number 5 is Mei.
The Mei with the. Oh man! But I during that last little replay we were looking at, Kael'thas was trying to Pyroblast. I think it was the Lily right after the Water Dragon, and Cattle came in with a really good icing. I do want to point out Cattle's play on the Mei is looking really good. Mei, considered by many a very low tank, low value tank compared to like Garrosh, Diablo, even a Blaze or a Stitches, and Cattle's making this look really, really, really good. That is one thing I do want to point out.
Yeah, I love Mei. I wish we would see more of her. She's a very interesting tank. feels like Tyrael in that she's very creative with how you can set things up. Nice little play there for Mei, but he uses the Cryo Freeze to dodge most of the damage, get the Unstoppable, the healing, and the shield. Now Oriel has quest stack Reservoir of Hope. This is so funny, it's a 16 level quest. Just like Cho'Gall, she's one of the heroes that has 16 plus level quests.
Yeah.
And Oriel, it's so good on her. Every single time she gets a full heal on someone, you get 75 bonus of total mana, and that's like 8% of her max. And then if you get a bunch of that, like, yeah, you could have like 50% more mana. Now, fight breaks out again. Avalanche kind of missed, kind of whiffed. There's a water dragon on, and there was a pyroblast on Lily. Everything is survived.
Kobe took a bit of damage. Lily took a little bit of damage. Kir tried to get the Rain of Vengeance on the Tracer, but she recalled just in time. Gravity Lapse, Jet Propulsion, will be getting some good damage. Cryo Freeze will get some health over to Cattle, who is going to be ignited by that level 16 from the Kael'thas. And as we look at the... Oh, Jet Propulsion shy from Blaze. Cattle unable to get the value that he's looking for. Azerite low. Gets a heal.
Oh.
That's a hook onto Wubby. He's against the wall. Cattle needs to back away, making sure he doesn't spread the bomb to anyone else. Still, the chase continues through this lane. The members of Granite Gaming have such a far distance to go, and the level 16 from Liam is really good, reducing armor and speed, but it's not enough to close the gap, and 30k cannot find a kill. Granite Gaming, they tap well, seemingly want to re-engage.
Lily has 3 more hero damage than Tracer right now.
Can we get that stat? Can we get the hero damage and siege stats on the broadcast for everyone at home? Because yeah, I think people need to see this as well. They're like, Grubby, Bahamut.
Same hero damage, same siege damage as Tracer as well. Like Lily and Tracer are interchangeable at this point.
Oh god.
And she has healing. Oh my god.
They're That's. I can't wait for Storm League this week when people start interchanging their Tracers for Lilies.
Yeah, look, can we get a Tracer? Because we need some backline dives. Like, yeah, that's good. I got the better thing. I got the new model here. That's the
Avalanche.
2017 model. This is the 2022. Have some Lily.
Poik
Nice Avalanche.
split. His armor's reduced. Liam actually... Okay, he doubles back. There's the Leap of Faith. Another hook. This one onto Breeze. See Evan Aldurin's might over the wall? He does, but Cattle's on the far side. Chastised from the Anduin. Crystal Aegis onto Cure. Cure slowed, trying to chase in still. Breeze getting low here. 29 gems will go down to Vala's multi-shot. And that's a great explosion from Tyrael. He gets massive cooldown reduction and sets up a triple kill.
That was a Poik Kael'thas MVP play.
Yeah.
That was so sick. A triple to Gravity Lapse and Flame Strike on every single member. This was so huge that it's so big you can't even see it. That's how big it is. It's like you're standing in front of a building. You're like, wow, this is a big skyscraper. But it's so tall I can't see the top. That's how huge it was. Poik making some amazing plays that gets them back to experience equality. Able to turn in now. Or will they go for the boss? Or will they do both?
I think you gotta go for both. You gotta go for as much as you possibly can on the side of Granite Gaming here. You have to just try and do as much as you possibly can with any sort of window. And it's even experience between both sides, but maybe with this boss plus Webweaver turn in, that could be look at Cattle right now. Look at Cattle just pushing out a wave.
What?
Cattle's so confident that the
Yeah.
enemy is on boss that he's like, I'm gonna go push a keep front gate in bottom lane.
Yep. Yeah, why not? He's gonna get a little bit of keep damage.
Well, let's
Let's see that replay
Yeah,
again. I
please.
hope it's that sick triple Gravity Lapse. Oh, yes it is. I hope we have time to see it all the way through. Poik trying to run away. Keep in mind how close he was to death. This Blood Mage, follow him there on the south side. There's a chase. Breeze going down. He loses 29 gems. Then suddenly, Poik, reverse Uno! Flame Strike! Burned Flesh. There's the Light Bomb Tracer. The Pulse rounds the chase on Lily. Granite Gaming's reversal of fortunes. Back to the present. We have the boss. It is taken. Top fort goes down. Web Weavers have been turned in, but the Bruiser Camp has been taken by 30k. It will slow down the center. Liam has a hook. Will he turn around and show his teeth? There's a slam. Any hook?
Now he's going to that far side of the wall so he can hook over that. It does pull someone through. If he were to do it in front of the sidewall, it actually stops anyone from coming back through. So it's just one of those angles that Liam was looking for. Boss will end taking down the keep front gate, but a Web Weaver right behind it. And 20 talent tiers just now here for Granite too.
Okay, we're getting the range on Flame Strike. We're getting the longer sanctification, the bigger bunker. Blaze getting attacked. He has the bunker. He's got 50 armor coming out of that. There's a Gorge. Can Tyrael survive? Can he proc his sanctification? Avalanche on 2 members. Breeze.
Gone. Breeze is dead. Cattle's trying to get some pressure onto Anduin. Hook out. Doesn't connect onto Poik, but that's a lot of damage onto Smexy. The light bomb from Smexy does save the moment. That's a nice Crystal Aegis and Jet Propulsion from Blaze. The Gravity Lapse from Poik. A lot of damage. Cure's on fire. What? Azerite didn't get the kill? Hello?
Oh, he really wanted to get the kill there. There were some big plays from Smex and Poik to try and save the front line, to save the back line. Tracer tried to go in. He was emboldened by the low health there of, I think it was Lily. Unable to get the kill. Now, this isn't an unmitigated disaster for Granit Gaming. They had the boss Webweaver play. They've only got 1/3 of the required gems, but they did take down 30k's top keep. Bottom keep has been opened up. There is turn-in ability for 30k, but against 3 keeps, Granit Gaming has perfectly good odds to save at least 2 of them, at which point the game will equalize. Will that be all that 30k can get out of this sequence? Or will they go for the jugular and take it all? It will depend on what happens next. Who gets the next kill in this game?
We have the turn-in for 30k. I was waiting to see if they delay out for a wave or 2 more, since the web weavers would push out further, but all the waves are kind of neutral in the sense of it's in the center of the map in all 3 lanes. We have our 20s apiece, 6 to 9 in kills. Funny enough, the team with the lower amount of kills has the higher experience. Jet Propulsion from Blaze shy. Tyrael is the target. There's a knock into the wall, and the Lily flanking right now. Madara with the double dragon. Double dragon gets the singular kill. Poik is the new target. Wubby's gonna get rooted, or stunned, excuse me. Avalanche, a little anti-synergistic, but that doesn't matter. Liam is casually 1v2ing while we have Azerite in the backline trying to do something here. Smexy low. Liam just needs a little extra damage, maybe a bite, maybe a slam. There's a slam. A hook should be off cooldown right about here, and he gets it. That's a kill on to Anduin, who just tries to get away. And now, with 2 dead, Tyrael up in 20 seconds, this is a guaranteed keep through top, keep through mid and bottom. This might be game right here. This might be series.
Yeah, that was gross by Liam. He was really softening up that Anduin, tenderizing him, preparing him for the slaughter. And the slaughter did come indeed. Caterpillar came in to finish him off. Double Water Dragon! Double Water Dragon takes down the Whoopi. There's the Blizzard. 30k with a sick fight in bottom lane with this unusual draft. Have managed to get the victory anyway. Enemies from all sides. Granit Gaming is trying to scramble to stay alive, but they can't. It's a 3-0 for the team that has 3-0 in their name. 30k wins.
30k, 7-0. King of the Hill for HeroesCCL Season 4. I think that's the tagline for 30k, is they are King of the Hill, undefeated. They may have lost a map or 2 here or there, but they are overall undefeated in all 7 weeks of group play. Extremely well played from 30k, regardless of whatever memery happened in this map number 3. They still made it work somehow, some way, with a top damaged Lily. Now, she was shy by 2,000 to the Kael'thas and Tracer, but still, Lily, 73,000, Kael'thas, Tracer, 75,000 or so. Justing. Yeah, go. Just
Lily with top healing as well, which is impressive. That means that, you know, the combination of the two, Madara was actually statistically the most impactful member in the game on the Lily. Maybe Lily is OP. Probably maybe not, but
I think we're gonna have to do a new tier list here, Justin.
Yeah, maybe a Lily skin tier list, because she's the only hero that matters now after this match. But Lily, she is made for double support, and Madara showing that. He did a good job on the Lily. He was clicking on him a lot, and he was healing himself, and mostly just being obnoxious to the Tracer in particular. It's very, very annoying to try to play something like Tracer into Lily, because you don't have a ton of damage output that doesn't just get healed because it's very slow outside of the bomb, and also the blinds that are constantly just making your day bad. But Granit Gaming in the early game felt like they were maybe a bit angry that they felt possibly a little disrespected by 30k with their weird goats composition, and Granit Gaming looking relatively strong in the early game, but the late game prowess of 30k coming out. Their composition, while it was kind of, it seemed a little bit like it was a for fun draft, and I'm sure a part of it was, you know, they got to play things that maybe they don't normally get to play, like Madara on the Lily and Liam on the Stitches, but the composition, kind of the strategy of it, the general strategy kind of checks out, and because they had a composition that was double support, a functioning double support with Lily and a support that can save people from one-shots and Legacy on the Oriole. They had their hyper carry in the Vala, and then they had their front line. But they were mostly playing for just the longest fights possible. The Vala and Lily can do damage, and then they're looking to just basically play off of hooks. Liam is my MVP for this game. He was kind of the rock of the team, it felt like. He was the one who was setting up all the fights for them. The only way that 30k really has good enough lockdown is with either a snowball from Cattle, which we saw 2 of them that were pretty good, and then Liam with the hooks and the gorges, where he had pretty much all the engages onto the enemy team. And in this fight, this is the fight that closed it out when 30k does manage to get the objective. SMX just gets ran down by Liam. Liam just won't get off of him. He's got the tenderizer, and this looks very annoying for SMX. He just has Liam, not typically the hero that you see diving the backline, just sticking to SMX on the Anduin permanently. That's kind of the fault of Anduin too, is that he sort of needs babysitting in the team fight, as he's very immobile, and when you start losing the fight, he stops functioning because he can't heal anyone when he has to run away himself. And Liam, you know, showing that weakness, and 30k showing that strength with their 7-0 victory in the whole season. Pretty crazy. Very, very dominant team here going into the LAN.
In a dominant team, and we have actually got the legendary Lily joining us right now. We've got Madara on the line. Madara, how are you feeling with a 7-0 victory overall in CCL group phase?
Feeling pretty good. Really nice record for the regular season. Guarantees us first seed at LAN pretty much, so should be really fun.
I have to ask, why Lily? Why this draft in Tomb? Why?
I mean, double support Vala has always been a pretty popular comp, and I was asked to play Lily, so it's a fun hero as well.
Oh. I think.
Would you say that?
Oh, go ahead, Grubby.
Would you say that Lily is actually secretly a high skill hero that only pros should attempt to play, like gold 3 and above?
I would say maybe diamond 5 and above, actually. And I mean, we've been doing these tier lists for 30k, and for some reason they had Lily in the healer one that I helped with, but people just don't realize she's a ranged DPS. But I mean, I'm really hoping to bring that to light with this game.
Oh, I mean, Justin has said that Stukov's the main tank, so there's, I mean, yeah, there's definitely, there's heroes in Heroes of Storm that break the rules. But Justin, any questions for Madara?
Yeah, congratulations. Just how are you feeling going to the LAN as the first seed? Not being an underdog in any way. You guys are gonna be the team making everyone else feel like underdogs. How's that gonna feel?
Feels really, really good. I remember the Miami LAN was super, super fun. I have even bigger expectations for this one, and going in at first seed means that we'll get to see a little bit from the team that we're gonna face as they go through the gauntlet. So makes us feel pretty comfortable with where we're sitting right now.
As the defender of the #1 spot from the league play, do you have any special worries or concerns that you can reproduce the level that you showed so far?
Yeah, so if we're looking at the standings, we're like, I think it's like a 100% chance maybe that Oxygen gets in there, and Hammer's pretty good into Lily, so I think that's my main concern right now.
Legit.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go. For anyone at home who's like, oh man, there's so many Lilies in my Storm League game, just play Hammer. There you go. Easy enough. Madara, thank you so much for joining us for the interview. Congratulations. Big congratulations on your 7-0 for the round, for the group stage. We'll see you in, we'll see you in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the HeroesCCL LAN. Any shout outs that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Yeah, a huge shout out to the team. It's been a great season so far. Amazing work. I'm really excited to meet you guys at LAN, as well as everyone that puts on CCL and any viewers who are going to be there to watch. It's going to be super awesome. Huge shout out to all you guys that put this on in Twitch chat. Big shout out to 30k who just released some of their new merch. You guys should check that out.
It's cool.
That's about it.
Well, thank you, Madara, for joining us. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you in August. Good luck in your scrims and preparation until then. Alrighty, so I have to correct myself. It's not Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's Bloomington, Minnesota. So it's I think we might have a command in chat !LAN, so you can get yourself some details on that one. But August 5th through 7th, I mean, it's going to be 3 days of amazing Heroes of Storm action, and obviously 30K will be there. I think Oxygen is locked in, and we'll figure out what's going to happen with our final matchup coming up very, very soon here, because this next matchup does have a little bit of possibility to move people around. But of course, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about takeaways from this last series, because honest to God, Grubby, my takeaway, 30K is nigh unkillable, it seems. Even with a draft that I had not a lot of faith in on Tomb, they still looked insanely strong as a team.
Yeah, they're calm, they're confident, they have the synergy, the team fight power, they've got the drafts. Even when the draft is a little different, they still understand the win condition. And I think that's very important, that you know how you can set up kills, being in the right spot, setting up for the detainment strike. They have good awareness of what every single hero can do, and they cover each other well. They're playing really, really powerfully. And yeah, for the rest, the takeaway from Granit Gaming side, they're doing pretty okay in a European league right now. They're in the top 4 in the semifinals, and so they do have some skill. But this is the NA top league with some of the NA top players that they don't usually play against. A little bit of the ping. If they can make it to LAN, then maybe Granit Gaming can make good on their promise, but they didn't look as strong as we expected from them in the beginning of the season. This is unfortunate for them, but of course, it's a competition. There's always winners and losers, and someone's going to be on top, someone's going to be on the bottom. Doesn't mean they're terrible, doesn't mean they're bad, just that the others were better this time.
I think that was perfectly put, Grubby. Adjusting, any takeaways from our first best of 5 of the day?
Yep, just 30K domination, 7-0. A very, very scary team to face if you face them at the LAN, and hopefully they can carry through that, their dominance that they've shown online at LAN, because, I mean, we heard from Granite how they said that they thought that if they got to LAN, they'd be the team to win it all. LAN is a very different beast from the online play. You're not as comfortable. It's a kind of a whole different skill set where you need to be able to be playing without being nervous, be playing on a setup that you're not comfortable with. There's a lot of just like distractions. You're not in your zen state that you're at home where you're in the same place you always are. It's just a totally different feeling. There's a lot more pressure. So we'll see if 30K is able to carry it over, but I'm just excited to see who's going to join them at the LAN and see if anyone's going to be able to take out 30K at LAN.
Oh, we'll definitely have to see that in the future, but right now I want to remind all of you that it's up to you to get the best pick for the winning team live as you're watching on cclmarkets.com. It's free. If you pick wrong, you can sell your shares and buy the other team before the match is over. CCL markets trade from 0 to 100, with shares of the winning team valuing at 100 and shares of the losing team expiring at 0. There's tons of prizes this season, so join and play during every HeroesCCL broadcast. So right now, that was our first best of 5 of the day, and we are getting into our final group stage matchup. We are going to be seeing Diamond Hands up against Chili Mountain. Some positional changes could happen, and we'll talk about that when we come back from our little break, because right now, we have brought our amazing friend, you all love him, you all know him, Kyle Ferguson. He sat down with Hebby from Diamond Hands to talk about this difficult matchup that he's going to be going up against Chili Mountain in just a few. So when we come back, we'll have that best of 5. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom.